After Black Ops 6 was revealed, the game is the most pre-ordered game on Steam. Although this statistic is around 2 weeks old, it doesn't devalue the fact that as soon as people saw the trailer and the pre-order was made available on Steam, they went right after it and gave Activision their $70. Black Ops 6 is making waves on the Steam charts, and it's 4 months from release and 3 months away from an actual early access test just because of its trailer. People are very quick to ignore what has been happening with COD for the last few years. And that's exactly what Black Ops 6 was designed to do. It was designed to revive the hype surrounding Call of Duty. It reintroduced classic Prestige, the classic black and orange Black Ops aesthetic that we haven't seen since 2018's Black Ops 4. Mechanics like omnidirectional movement that promise to make the game fresh and interesting to play, as well as 16 maps on launch. It seems as if Activision has hit their limit of pushing out games that defy the classic COD formula. Too many tactical titles, too many straying away from the lovable familiarity of classic COD gameplay. But this year, if they went against the classic COD formula, and the Black Ops 6 reveal didn't look promising and disappointed, nobody was gonna buy it. They knew they pushed the fan base far enough, and now this is just the latest cog in their scheme to suck another $70 out of us for a game that is probably just as heavily monetized and engagement-oriented, aka rigged, as the last 5 that have come out. Seriously, after watching the trailer, you can't go on social media and say, "Oh, Call of Duty is so back, we're so back." We're back to just more of the same. And don't get me wrong, look, at my core, I am somebody that loves Call of Duty. I always have, ever since I started playing. What I don't love is what Activision has done to it. Well, I don't think the last 5 games were any good, and they were carefully crafted to be as addictive as possible and as easy as possible for casual players to pick up and easily start melting people with stuff like maps with safe spaces, eomm which protects garbage players from decent ones, trash one-shot metas like the 725, and the overbearing over-monetization of everything from $30 skins to a $30 battle pass on top of the pre-existing one. That's when the game I loved turned into something that wasn't meant to make money because it's entertaining, pure, genuine, and fun. It was meant to make money because it's addictive, perfectly tailored, and the result of corporate greed that wants to succeed in this capitalist society. Now, by my past opinions, we all know I have nothing against capitalism, but it's ironic that in trying to make capital, Activision makes Call of Duty communist by trying as hard as possible to force everyone to have a 1 KD and a 1 win-loss ratio so that nobody experiences anything too lopsided. That is, they work as hard as possible for their matchmaking to force players to have a perfectly balanced experience. It's like the Thanos of gaming. If you do well and manage to get a 2 KD and win one game, it's going to leave you with a loss and a 0.5 KD in your next game because 2 times 0.5 is 1. Everything is going to try to keep you at a 1 so that you're not experiencing something better or worse than somebody else. Every match you play, in an attempt to have genuine fun, is actually manipulated and tailored perfectly to you based on your previous match. Everything depends on your results. It's like a claw machine. You're not free to enjoy the entire experience that the game could offer without eomm. Now, I will admit that if eomm wasn't a thing and the matchmaking was even dialed down to a light skill-based system like the one that was seen in Black Ops 2, for example, where it wasn't fake or clearly manipulated, but rather to place you in matches that weren't too stressful or too boring, I would have enjoyed any of the COD games placed before me. Would I have absolutely loved 2019 Vanguard, Cold War, Modern Warfare 2, and 3, even without eomm? No. The mechanics and the maps are still pretty bad. I would have enjoyed Cold War and MW3 moderately, but the rest of them are just a disgrace to the genre. But it's COD, okay? I love COD. And unfortunately, when COD games are terrible, I'm gonna complain and advocate for positive change. Because as someone who has loved games all my life, I hate to see such a once great first-person shooter take this path. The path of manipulation and over-monetization to purely make sales and addict everyone, instead of providing a fun experience with integrity. That's why I play X-Defiant. It's not because it isn't COD and that it's a bandwagon. It's because I enjoy a game that finally doesn't put player engagement over just plain honest and genuine gameplay opportunities, which is extremely hard to find nowadays. And the game is just fun anyways, like give me a break. Unfortunately, COD just isn't COD anymore. Despite Modern Warfare 3 having some things that we wanted to see, and the remastered maps were a semi-decent idea, it still plays poorly because key mechanics are reworked to fit this whole addictive and tailored match experience that Activision wants us to have. eomm runs rampant. Matches are far too competitive. Spawns are wacky and clearly tampered with in some way to influence scores and kill-death ratios. The time to kill, regardless of what anyone says, is far too long, and it forced them to make the matchmaking even more overbearing, and the aim assist stronger. More bullets to hit, more controller casual players to cater to. There's just clearly something going on, and I won't even get into the patents, but the patents that are clearly in use state that in-game parameters are manipulated in order to breed engagement and sell microtransactions. It's right there in front of our face and people don't care enough to look. Look, I don't just complain about COD to complain. I complain because from an objective standpoint of someone who loves games, who loves first-person shooters, and who has loved COD for years at this point and still purchased all the games despite them being so objectively terrible and manipulative, COD has turned from that fun multiplayer game to a money-making machine that isn't meant for genuine fun, genuine gaming, and genuine competition. It's meant as something you'd see in The Matrix, where you plug your brain into it and it controls where and when you get tiny squirts of dopamine to keep you addicted through tiny, subtle methods. Methods that may or not be patented by Activision, as I said before, and deeply researched by them for years. Now, I pre-ordered Cold War, Vanguard, Modern Warfare 2, and Modern Warfare 3 before I really woke up. I'll admit it, I'm guilty of being one of the players that completely fell for the bait. And ironically, this time, this is the game that looks absolutely the most promising out of any COD we've seen in the last 6 years. But I'm sticking to my guns. I am done pre-ordering COD. Was I excited to see 16 launch maps? Yes. Was I excited to see totally revamped movement and gunplay mechanics? Yes. The mega sweat in me loved to see tag sprinting make a return yet again. Am I excited for that classic Black Ops aesthetic? Of course I am. Classic prestige? Give me that. Treyarch finally looks like they're cooking with this game. But still, what trumps all of this excitement for me, despite how good the game will play on paper, is Activision's motivation for fulfilling all of these things. Remember, they greenlight everything that Treyarch has done on this game. Everything that has happened is not against what Activision wants. They want us to feel excited for these fresh new mechanics they've withheld from us for 6 years. We're starved of a good game, so even a semi-impressive trailer would have convinced players to pre-order the game. Not only that, most players, as we can clearly see, are asleep to the reality of eomm and how manipulative modern gaming has really become. So what I'm getting at is, despite me really thinking that Black Ops 6 has really promising game mechanics, as well as some promise to revive the classic feel of the franchise, and we can see that designers at Treyarch say that Black Ops 6 is their best work, I'm not pre-ordering this game. I can't find it in myself to pre-order Black Ops 6, because behind all of this stuff will be the same ridiculous things we've all seen before. Overbearing eomm, over monetization, a gameplay loop that, although has mechanics that will look and feel great, they'll be ruined by the types of matches that you're playing. 16 launch maps, sure, but those maps are gonna host the sweatiest matches known to man with no entertainment value in sight. And can I say for sure that Activision won't talk about their matchmaking at all? No. But have I experienced enough terrible matchmaking to know that this game has an overwhelming likelihood to feel absolutely no different? Yes, because every year it gets worse. The game is going to be the same story as the ones before it. A first-person shooter that has such advanced technology and is on the forefront of graphics, mechanics, and gameplay that is ruined by corporate greed because you can't enjoy what the game has to offer due to practices that are meant to manipulate and addict you rather than ones that are there to breed fun and genuine enjoyment. Black Ops 6 is the brand new claw machine in the arcade. Well, in my opinion, the game looks great, and it looks like Treyarch actually made something special here with lots of thought and dedication. Activision is going to take this game and make sure that it makes lots of money. And the only way for them to do that, in their eyes, is to make sure the player experience is tailored. They have more than enough technology that can do that, which they've patented, and they also have an AI-driven engagement algorithm that tracks you individually and tries to tailor your experience as best it can to you. I can't imagine what it's like to be a super talented developer working on Black Ops 6 and playing local 6v6 with your coworkers, trying to test run the game, and you all agree that this game is your finest work. It's so much fun, only to know that in a few short months, when the public can actually get their hands on it, your work for 4 years, Activision is going to make sure that it's not appreciated for the quality of art that it is. It's adjusted to milk the most money possible out of unsuspecting consumers. Their name is going to be in the credits of a game that may be great on paper, but not with how the game is managed by an insanely greedy company. It could have the best mechanics in the world, could play like the best first-person shooter I've ever played, but if the matchmaking is terrible, my bullet damage is being manipulated, and mechanics like spawns don't work, it's not gonna be fun. So that, my friends, is why I'm done pre-ordering COD. I love the game, I love the franchise. Black Ops 6 looks great on paper, but as soon as eomm touches that game, I'm done. It's over. The game is not fun anymore. I need some solid proof from Activision or Treyarch themselves that they've reworked the matchmaking to make me even consider buying the game. But because so many people have already pre-ordered based on hype alone and have forgotten about the matchmaking, I bet they don't even need to do anything anymore. And even if I get the Game Pass to play the game, I'm still giving Microsoft money. And remember, Microsoft owns Activision now. So regardless, you're going to be paying monthly to play COD, which will eventually equal $70 anyways. The amount of pre-orders may even have screwed us out of any changes regarding the matchmaking. If you pre-order without hearing anything about the matchmaking being changed or their methods being adjusted straight from the horse's mouth, you're signing yourself up for the same garbage we dealt with from Modern Warfare 3 and Modern Warfare 2 and Vanguard, and Cold War, and Modern Warfare 2019. Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer died insanely fast. Nobody cares about it, but they still sucked $70 out of a lot of people. This game as it stands is no different. People didn't quit Modern Warfare 3 because the remastered maps are bad or because the gameplay sucks. They quit because the matchmaking is terrible and the game is boring. The game flow doesn't work because everything is scripted. A decent game is wrecked by the practices applied after the game is complete. That's the problem with modern COD. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't pre-order this game. I'm Prime Pete. Take it easy.